What's up, So?
Bro, had a good Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving meal with your family and friends. It was an interesting weekend for our South Florida sports teams. The Dolphins actually went out there and put a hell of a performance against the Carolina Panthers, bro.
Great game. I mean, it was a dominant performance. We had the Jets game.
Tough road win.
Coming back home, everybody's like, well, typical Dolphins. You know, they're going to come back and they're going to ruin it at home and they're going to lose. And guess what our boys did, bro?
They went on there and got the dub, man.
They showed out. That defense is looking special right now. And Waddle. I mean, bro, I can talk about Waddle all day.
For sure. And for me, I feel like we got to start with the guy who's been getting shitted on the most in this entire season for no absolute reason. Well, not for no absolute reason. Some of it justified, most of it not justified. And that is Tua, man.
Yeah, man.
Our quarterback. He had a hell of a day.
QB1.
He had a hell of a day. He threw over 300 yards or 270 yards, something like that. Threw a touchdown. No picks, which is, for me, huge. Right, for him to have an efficient game with good yardage, throwing touchdowns, and then the way you make that game look pretty is by adding no interceptions to the frosting and saying, "Hey,
which has
this
been
is
an
the
issue,
performance," right? And it's been an issue with him making bad throws. But I just felt like the whole offense was like pretty much in rhythm from the get-go. None of that weird shit that we were used to where it's like, oh, yeah, our first drive is great, and then the second one is like a different one, and then we do four 3-and-outs consecutively. No, we were getting first downs. We were able to move the ball. Again, another great performance by Tua by finding, I think it was 7 different wide receivers or different targets.
And completing over 80% of his passes. For the second week in a row.
Doing things that is ridiculous, right? When it comes to that position that no other quarterback, or not that no other quarterback, no other young quarterback is able to do that yet, right? Because there's some good quarterbacks out there, but none have shown to be as efficient as Tua can be.
Well, I mean, I think if I wanted to play devil's advocate, people can point out like Mac Jones or something like that and say, look at his success. I mean, he's on top of the division right now. He's a rookie quarterback.
Right.
Alabama,
but he also has
too.
Bill
You know what I mean?
Belichick coaching him.
That's the edge that I give him, and I'm glad you bring that up because there's a couple times, man, in this game where I was like, what the hell are we doing? What was Coach Flo doing? Like early on in the game, I think it was our game where it was like 10 minutes into the game and he threw a challenge flag.
Yeah.
And it was for like, because we had forced what looked like a turnover, in live action, but then, the referees called it an incomplete pass, and it was because he didn't have enough, it looked like he did, so I understand where Flo's coming from, but why is he throwing a flag a challenge flag that early in the game?
That's one thing that
what is that?
You could seriously harp on him for this season. He's terrible when it comes to challenging decisions or challenging plays. Like, his record stinks this year when it comes to that, number one. And number two, he chooses the worst times or the worst plays to challenge, which, again, you would think that him or his staff would have better preparation for that, right? As far as like, hey, let's check it up on the monitor upstairs, quick, whatever. But it looks like none of that really happens because they just always make bad decisions when it comes to that. And thankfully, again, besides that coaching little stumble or whatever, the offense was able to play really well, right?
Right.
And on top of that, the defense really was able to play well, including special teams. Like, we started that we stopped them on their first drive, and then we block a punt for a touchdown.
Huge, man. Duke Riley came in unblocked and just blew up the punter spot. And he wasn't the one that got the
touchdown.
No, he wasn't the one that got the touchdown or the block, but he was the first one in there that kind of. Oh no, he did get the block actually. So shout out to Duke Riley who got the block. But man, that was a huge way to start the game for us to score. I feel like whenever we start off with a defensive score, that sets the tone for the rest of the game. I feel like any team, right? Like, you're like, all right, we're going to score both ways. No matter how we cut it, we're going to be out here putting up points. Defense, offense, don't matter. So that was encouraging to see. The boy, I got to give him a shout out, man. Jalen Phillips.
He's killing
another sack.
6.5 sacks on the season, bro.
Huge.
6.5 sacks on the season for a rookie. And again, not only you, a lot of people on Twitter, on Dolphins Twitter, were like really judging him and hating on him. And like, same thing, where's the production? Just blah, 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 blah. This dude has been lights out once he was able to focus. And one thing that you have to give him credit for is that he's a fast learner, right? Because he learned quickly when he was at UM in that 1 year and a half that he was there or whatnot. And then, boom, to come into the NFL and learn so much from week 1 to where we're at right now. You can tell that kid has already made a leap. And that leap is significant because he's getting more playing time, playing better, and really having an impact on the defensive line amongst other good people that we have on the line for him to stand out, right? Because Wilkins
easy to
killing
it's easy
and
when he's getting double teamed
because this
and
guy's
leave Jalen Phillips.
Right, and you said it. He's getting double and triple teamed to create that ability for somebody else, right? Or that opportunity, we should say. And I don't know, man. Those two guys really look like they're working in a good combination because whenever they're on the field together and they're lined up, it's like I feel really confident about this pass rush.
Right.
And, I have to also give out a shout out to Raekwon. Raekwon played a great game, and he's been a little slow to come back from his injury, but he's really been a complimentary piece to that linebacking core because your boy Needleman, he's
Needham, who had an interception.
He's been killing it. We all know what Jerome Baker is doing on the season and how he's leading that defense.
Right.
And then, again, another good performance from all our defensive backs.
Yeah.
Howard.